Sounds like my kind of guy. Can't wait to break him in half. Let's go. What to you two, sir? What do we got down here? A little box that I apparently completely ignored at the front of the, like, literally the entrance. I'm not a smart man. I don't know how I ended up doing that, but let's not question it. New active quest, Voices of the Dead. I love its name. I love its name, so we have to do it immediately. Wait, what? I'm in the House of Sorrows. I don't even know how this happened, but I fucking love it. Listen to the music, man. Still the d.
There is a mortal after all. Bizarrain has done little in his time as king that has been quite so progressive as welcoming a mortal into our fold.
And what is your definition of progressive, lady? Is it green hair and pale white mayonnaise eyebrows? I don't think your definition matters. I hate everything about your face right now. I can't bring myself to look at it. So I'm just gonna focus on that one particular crack down there until it is my only fucking care in the world. Still the
I have given up, mortal. It is the way of life to struggle, I think, in the jaws of death.
I can't stop looking at her.
How can we consider ourselves devout if we struggle? No.
The crack isn't nearly interesting enough.
Let us lay down our arms, let us lay upon the midden soil and pass on.
I have to keep looking at your condiment-soaked fucking forehead. What is wrong? Also, it looks like part of your head is rotting away there. I guess that's the point of winter and autumn and fey stuff, I guess, but literally the purple just fades away and you become the most horrible grey, bony white that I've ever seen. I can't wait to get away from you forever.
It is
Saturnin.
said that Saturnin is one of us, one of the house. But who? Why would one of us betray us to the Tuatha?
It's the leader. I'm calling it right now. It's Bizarrain. And he's just doing this big fucking awesome... Oh, that would be really cool, actually. I mean, I'm a genius, and I just predict these things from the fucking beginning, because of course I do. Look at me. But, that would be really, really awesome if he's covering his tracks by looking like he's doing everything possible to bring him down, even bringing in a mortal, and the one mortal that is capable of, breaking free of the cycle as well. House of Sorrows.
How fitting, I think, that this place becomes like the bodies we tend. Empty, cold, and eventually consisting of nothing.
Are you all just gonna completely strip away any possible happiness we could have had going into this session? Is that what I'm gonna have to get used to in fucking Chloricon and Alabaster and especially? It's called the House of Sorrows. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised My Chemical Romance isn't blaring down the halls at all fucking times. But at least we can take solace in the fact it's fucking silent. Gallows Tree.
Quiet place once. I used to watch the rooks and crows rest gently upon its boughs. But now the beasts are savage things, glutting themselves on rotten flesh.
Like crows and rooks always do? I know they're birds of prey, but they scavenge as well, don't they? Just like any animal ever would. Just stop acting as if this is a bad thing. Crows are allowed. I mean, the boy gotta eat, you know? What am I talking about? I don't think my brain is anywhere near as healthy as I thought it was going into this session. I thought the sickness had finally left at last, the big disease.
Doom for our people, and neither Bizarrain nor Sidon can avert it.
I think Sidon can. I just think Bizarrain is almost definitely going to turn out to be the purest form of scumbag imaginable. But until I am 100% on that, I guess I'm going to have to be all nice and fucking lovely to the dude. Nothing to steal. Why do I know that name? Dion... I might know that name, but I will never know how to pronounce it.
Mortal. I am a tender of the midden. I have been instructed to offer you what insight I can give about the art of despair.
You better be an absolute master, because I basically already am. I'm not good enough. Wow, okay. So you've been instructed to do it, but you can't be bothered to teach an idiot. Okay. Thanks, I guess. Really appreciate it. Diane... The midden.
Be warned, mortal. The midden is no longer what it once was. It is a place of beasts and dark, putrid magic, Unsafe to all who enter.
It is a place of bees. How fucking horrific. Ah, the spookiest of all insects, Sidon.
Though we are targeted by Tuatha, Sidon is the only one who wages open war against them. For good or ill, I do not know.
Dione,
I have always felt magic's call, but in the Midden, the call is strongest. It allows me to see charms and spells and undo them. This I teach to all who listen.
I need to come up with a pronunciation for these names, because I'm probably never, ever, 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 ever gonna have to talk to you again, but it's kind of driving me insane that we have to make horrible noises every time I encounter you. I guess it's Dioneac? That's still a pretty horrible noise, but I'm also a bit in love with it. Dioneac. 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 No, it already means nothing in my head already. I've already said it way too many times throughout my entire existence. House of Sorrows.
Once, we lived in the wilds of the Midden, but as the place became defiled, we had to take refuge in these old halls for fear of the beasts outside. And of Saturn.
She says howls. Fucking howls. Really? Really? I get it, these, like, mystical Irish elf creatures or whatever the fuck is going on. But do they need to pronounce things in the most painful ways possible? What's going on? Alright, and of Saturn, well, tell me more about Saturn then. And his bees.
If there is nothing else we can do, if we cannot bring a lasting peace for our house, then at least let us bring an end to Saturn.
What about calmly you just talk about murdering like this massive fucking dictator, as if it's nothing? I mean, it basically is nothing to us. We're all way too fucking cool anyway. You trickle. Okay, I don't really want to trickle, but I mean, if you insist, sir.
It seems these days that many flock
trickle with the best of them.
Either to jeer at the ruin of the gallows tree, or to bring ruin to this house. Which are you, I wonder?
Little bit of both, I guess. I'm very intrigued by Sidon. Because obviously he used to be a prince of this place, or he used to be the king of this place. I don't know why he was prince and leading over everything, and then the new guy just had to make himself king? I guess he just wants to rub his wang just a little bit extra. Why am I so confused? What was I? I sat back and was like rubbing my head as if I was making a massive decision. I'm gonna be getting through all of these anyway. Let's start with Sidon.
Can he hope for victory alone when the whole of the house fears defeat? I applaud his determination, but I feel it will be his undoing.
Yeah, but I'm on his side now, and I am unstoppable against literally everything. I killed Balin in less hits than it takes me to kill a bog thresh, which is just, I was about to say overgrown tree. They're tiny. They're tiny little baby trees that just so happen to get a little bit of a brain, and I dominate them every single time. So, you know, tell me about your urinary tract infection.
I will no longer stomach the delays and insults of Bizarrain. The house must be led to war, if not by him, then by someone else.
Weren't you literally just arguing that war is a bad idea and Sidon's an idiot? Like, I know he's doing it on his own. And by on his own, I mean, like, he's maybe got 3 or 4 friends. He's a tiny little baby man just doing his best against the army of gods. But, I mean, what? You have maybe 6 people here? I'm sure there's a lot more underground or out in the field or something, but it's not like the Tuatha army. What are you gonna do? Oh god, hold on guys, I'm getting a call that I really need to answer, for I am an important business boy. I'll see you guys real soon. Alright, and we are back. I'm sorry to have forced you into a staring contest with a urinary tract infection for the entire course of that phone call, buddy, but let's get you out of there as soon as possible, shall we? So, the Midden.
Does
my boy ever blink? I haven't even noticed.
That have magic like the Midden does. This is an ancient place, a home of elder things than we Fae.
I know NPCs blink and everything, or, you know, for the most part, wink. I don't know why that happens, but normally they only do it one eye at a time, or at least sometimes you get a very specific NPCs that will do it one eye at a time, and it creeps me out so very much. Why does everyone want to bang me? Okay, it's kind of obvious I'm the prettiest man in this whole world. When the competition has 3 horrible triangular beard towers, then yeah, I am the sexiest man this world has ever seen. Saturnin.
It is a difficult thing, not to know who your opponent is. No one can truly be trusted, not until Saturnin is stopped.
And lastly, the House of Sorrows.
We are a thing of necessity, so I am told. An answer to our brethren, the Summer Fae, and the court they have constructed.
Thing of necessity? Yeah, because that was the Endless Summer, right? And the Endless Summer, I don't know what problems it was causing, but I guess you just don't like people who have happiness, because then the winter showed up, the winter was rotting everything into nothingness. The autumn was rotting everything into nothingness, and the winter had to show up to, finally stop the rot. Or, like, just rot a little bit too much, so the rot could happen no longer. It fucking killed people, is what I'm getting at. Okay, thanks, shithead. No, now I don't want to speak. Now I want to go and hang out with everybody else who's way cooler than you. Alright, you're the one with the cool hair. You are Gnlis.
The mortal. This house is full more of portents than of sorrow these days. Your arrival must truly be a telling of how dark these times have grown.
Aren't you supposed to be angry? Aren't you supposed to completely despise the fact that I live? Because your eyes, your face, your literally everything is not giving that away at all. Except for maybe the fact you're wearing a deer in between your tits. That's pretty goddamn terrifying. But other than that, I don't feel intimidated at all. Saturnin, let's not start with that. That's terrifying. Gallows Tree, let's not start with that. That's terrifying. Everything we can ask about here is terrifying. Except my boy Sidon.
The outcast. What more is there to speak than to say that he abandoned the traditions of this house out of lust for war and reprisal?
Well,
Perhaps
you
his
suck.
motives are just. But nature cares little for what one does in the name of justice. Only what one does in the name of survival.
I am not a big fan of this lady. Yet you're so willing to kill me? Just because I've shown I am the one thing that's going to keep you alive and probably lead you to war and get you killed anyway, but I mean the house will survive a little bit, right? Also, you're Winter Fae. You hate survival. You hate existing. End yourself is what I'm getting at, Gallows Tree.
The tree is ever quiet, but sometimes you can hear it groan under the weight of the indignities it now bears. Saturnin has gone too far with his latest assault.
Speaking of, who the fuck is this guy?
The beast will be caught, for until now he has not tasted the strength of winter. He will pay for his crimes against us.
Well, I don't think it's going to end up being her. Because as much as your hatred does not show in your face, you do sound like you very much despise this man, but maybe it's a red herring, I don't know. But she doesn't sound like she's going over the top to, like, try and convince us that she absolutely hates him because she, you know, is him. What if it's me? What if it's me and Saturn is just like a prophecy or something? I don't know what's going on. Gnlis.
I've seen this house in strong winters and weak ones, but I never pledged my being to a beast as winded and laboring as the house is now.
Pledge my being to a beast as winded as laboring as the house is now. What the fuck's wrong with it?
We were greater once. We had tenders and delvers throughout these lands, not individuals huddled in worry over Saturnin and the Tuatha.
It always feels really weird ending a conversation like that. Like, every single fucking option that I could choose doesn't feel impactful enough to just be the end. Tybre! That's a horrible pronunciation of that. I'm sure it's way cooler than Tybre! But whatever, talk to me.
Greetings, Siegebreaker. Although there is much that must be done, I have time to talk.
I mean, did I kill you? And or save your life? Do you even recognize me? What the fuck's going on? I can't believe I can't ask about the proving. The Midden.
Before there was a Court of Winter, before there was a House of Sorrows, there was the Midden, a place where Winter Fae would come to die. The bodies left to rot here mark the covenant of the house. Though the Winter Fae may stave off decay to create its courts and culture, they cannot escape it forever.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to all of that. And then I remembered about your hands. And then I remembered how much you fucking terrify me with those veiny, fleshy messes. Wear gloves, lady. Just wear gloves. It is that fucking simple. Because I know you're going to start gesturing at any point. I'm literally leaning back in my chair. I'm trying to escape the fucking wrath of our horrible, fleshy disaster cylinders. Here we go. Tell me about the house?
To be a member of the house is...
She's completely immobile. This is amazing.
Without the House of Sorrows, there would be no...
Fuck, she's paralyzed.
No culture in these lands. Only winter.
Tell me about the gallows tree.
It is the emblem of the house. It is the heart of the midden. It is said it has always been here, even during the times of the Weeping King.
Yeah, that's fucking great and all, but I have no idea who that is. Stop just spouting random bullshit knowledge. My brain is tiny. For one, it can't fit any more knowledge at this point. There is so much lore in this game. And two, this man has never, ever been mentioned before. And he gets an entire era named after him? Yeah, I feel like I should know at least something Saturnin.
He is the Faithlog Tocht, the token vine. He
is Faithlog.
Known to strangle the life from us.
I've got so much fucking faith in that log. That's the best log I've ever seen. Farewell, Taib. Or whatever the fuck your name is. Yes. Sorrow's tender. Rorid. And he's another one of those horrible green Karens. Fine.
The least powerful of us in some regards, the most powerful in many others. I am Rorid, mortal, one of the tenders of the midden.
Mortal? No, I think that was supposed to be, I am Rorid, mortal, one of the tenders of midden. But no, the voice actor read it out as if you're claiming to be mortal. That is not the case. You are Fae. I've seen so many reviews of this game just gush and spunk all over the voice acting. Like, all the way through to saying it's 10 out of 10, it's so much better than Skyrim. And while it probably is better than Skyrim in most regards of the voice acting, fuck me, man. It's still just as awful in terms of direction in so many places. I was really looking forward to playing like an RPG with so many cultures, so many races, so many walks of life, which will obviously have voices fitting each and every single one of those things. And it's not that. I mean, it is that, but half the voices are the fucking same, like Skyrim, and most of the voices, unless they're main characters, but even then, sometimes in the main quest and the main characters, nothing happens. It's the most boring fucking reading of it possible. Oh, this guy doesn't actually have a bad voice. He's putting in emotion and everything. They just didn't tell him what words to emphasize. And therefore, the meaning of that sentence changes entirely. And sorry, I'm ranting about something that no one gives a fuck about. But whatever, that's a minute of my life I'll never get back. The midden!
There is little that can be done for this place now. The Tuatha have sullied our ancestral cradle with the bodies of mortals. It may be changed forever.
Sullied our ancestral cradle? Oh, I see! And that's what people are mad about with the tree. That's why they think it's been desecrated. That's where Fae bodies belong, and then they regenerate and everything. And also, the humans are being like, the Winter Fae. That's a Fae voice. What do humans sound like? Oh, the Winter Fae. Oh, they're so barbaric and everything because they're stringing up human bodies and they're blaming them instead of the Tuatha because obviously this is a monument to the Winter Fae. But they worship decay, for one. They think it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, or at least a necessity in the cycle and everything, which arguably it is. Not even really arguably, it absolutely is. And I guess it's not nearly as disturbing for them, because it's only meant for Fae corpses. Fae corpses regenerate, or at least the soul leaves the body, so the body itself doesn't mean a whole lot to them. It is the essence that carries forth. I'm getting so deep today, huh? I'm a little smart little guy. Yeah, my knowledge is going on the fridge tonight. But yeah, after saying that, I've completely forgotten what my point was, and everything I just said is completely invalid. I'm not a smart little guy. I'm a dumb, giant woman. Is that the opposite of smart little guy? I guess so. Let us continue. Sidon.
There are those that flee the house, as a crow fleeing a coming storm, but Sidon is more than that. He seeks to free us from the Tuatha.
Yes. Yes, he does. So what are you doing still here? Why aren't you breaking forth to join him? Or were you not meant to sound excited about that? I mean, he said he was more than that, which makes you think that which makes me think that you think that he's a pretty cool guy. So go and join him. I don't think the House of Sorrows stop you. I don't think it's really a crime. They were probably given the choice, right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm being stupid. House of Sorrows.
Nothing good remains for us. Too much has already been lost in this struggle with the Tuatha.
And lastly, tell me about yourself, buddy.
I have always lived my life here in this house. What will become of me when it is gone? Are our fates bound, or will they be undone?
I love that we've just had the lips of this giant fucking chungus boy in the background. Also, you only have one nostril, and it's like this tiny little slit. It doesn't even seem to lead all the way up. How is this man breathing? Your mouth is sealed off as well? Are you breathing through your fucking eye sockets? That is kind of ingenious, actually. Who the hell are you? Random tender. Who the hell are you? Stiddly-diddly-diddly-diddly. And that's Rorid again. Man, you work fast. The only other dude we have to talk to is Malcolm. Hello, Malcolm.
Mortal, there is something that requires the attention of one of your kind.
And why might that
You
be?
have been to the Midden, yes? The sacred ground being desecrated by the corpses of your kind?
Thank you. Not exactly our fault that we're dying. The Tuatha are kinda ripping our heads off, arsehole. The Midden.
It was a gift of the earth to commemorate the rot and decomposition of the Fae. Then the Tuatha sullied it with the corpses of their prisoners.
So why do you sound mad at
do not
me?
decay like Fae do. Mortals putrefy and corrupt. The Midden and the House now feel this grisly taint.
God, that's horrible phrasing. Please say corruption, don't say taint. The word taint has forever just been sullied for me, and ever since I figured out the truth. House of Sorrows.
It is from these halls that we of the House safeguard the oldest traditions of winter. It must be shown due reverence.
Who even started calling? Like the area between your asshole and your fucking scrotum, or vagina if you happen to be a tit owner. Who started calling that a taint? What's so tainted about that part of the body? I think it's just as pure and innocent and glorious as any other part, but no, now it just feels disgusting. Now it feels like it's rotting. Gallows tree, or side down, gallows tree, side down, side down.
If there was anyone meant to bear the title King of Sorrows, it was him. Had we not succumbed to the Tuatha's bargaining, he would have been king. Instead, we turned our backs on him.
So go join him, arsehole. Every Fae I've ever come across has been at least somewhat trained to be an absolutely terrifying murderer. What's the difference with you? I mean, I guess you are wearing Brussels sprouts around your necklace. That doesn't exactly scream terrifying fucking murder fight. I don't think Brussels sprouts sort of inspire fear in the hearts of the enemies, but I don't know, man. Some people fucking despise those things. Oh, excuse me. Gallows tree.
The gallows tree is the silent sentinel of the Midden, demonstrating how life grows out of death. It justifies our existence, defines it. It is a symbol not only of the House of Sorrows, but of the Winter Fae. To bear one's corpse upon it was a sacred rite, until the Tuatha defiled it with mortal remains.
It's like the fruit of the tree, except it's horrible, rotting flesh. Now that's a scary fucking vegetable. Well, it's a scary fruit, I guess, but you know. I wonder what the scariest vegetable actually is. Parsnip? Parsnip. I would be a little bit scared if a parsnip came at me in the night, you know? I mean, I'd be kind of scared if any vegetable came at me in the night, but I feel like that is the one that would most make me urinate. Saturnin.
I have nothing more to say about him other than history will know him as the victor.
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, well, you've got a hell of a lot of faith in your lovely, lovely brethren, don't you? Also kind of makes me think it's you. in every single possible way, and all of his essence is hidden within said Brussels sprouts. What is that? What's needed in the midden?
The nature of my request is not something the midden needs, but something the midden should do without. The corpses of your brethren have been thrown into the midden as a declaration of hostility by the Tuatha. But they do more than signify a point.
Don't they need the Winter Phalanx to stay not pure, but the way they used to be? It's where they live.
On the bodies and will further corrupt the midden if unchecked.
I've never heard the word glut before, but now I wish I could use it forever without sounding like an absolute fucking mental case. Cause what a word! I guess it's related to glutton. It just basically means eats till she fucking explodes. I love it. What a beautiful word. That might be the prettiest word in the English language. Sounds so very elegant, majestic, if you will. What does Meath want?
To feed, Lianshi are drawn to death and decay. Something Winter Fae embody in spirit, but which mortals embody in flesh.
Oh, thanks, man. Really making me feel pretty.
Corpses began appearing in the midden.
I was feeling very insecure today, and you've just broken me.
The temptation before her, and now she runs rampant.
I can kill Mithgra.
You cannot hope to solve the problem with a simple application of violence.
Yes, I can.
Liathra is old, and she is wise to obvious attacks on her.
Dude, I could kill an old lady. This is not an issue for me.
So you
Even if she is a horrible hentai monster.
If we cannot find her in the midden, we can force her to return to her den beneath the house. Find fresh corpses, the ones Mithgra prefers to eat, and cremate them. With no food to scavenge, she will return to her den. Then you can kill her.
Tell me more about this. Is it really so hard to say abomination? Come on, tongue.
She's an
trained you better than this.
Powerful Lianshi. Normally she hibernates in the midden, but the recent influx of dead mortals has driven her to feed. It will only be a matter of time before she further corrupts the midden with her presence. For the house's sake, she must be put down.
I'll see what I can do. How do I find Mithgra?
With great difficulty. She is clever, and hides well when any come hunting for her. To search for her outright would be folly. But with some cunning, we can force her to appear. Mithgra prefers fresh corpses. Destroy those, and she would likely return to her den to wait for more.
Wait, but I thought she was drawn to the rotten decay.
You can find and cremate them. Without food, she will stop scavenging.
Yeah, we've heard this.
Return.
Yet her favorite thing is yet her favorite thing is the ones that haven't even started to decay yet. She might as well just continue eating Fae bodies or boggarts or literally anything that was already here. This makes no sense. My brain is crying. I might need to take a break in a second because my head is just falling to pieces again. I guess I haven't quite kicked that fucking sickness just yet, which, to be honest, after I finished the phone call, I started sneezing like an absolute maniac. Like there were literal explosives living in my nose. It was horrible. So yeah, I guess I'm not quite a healthy man yet. But we seem to be on the way, because at the start of this session, I felt pretty damn fine, and it was a miracle. But now I'm a corpse again, so I guess that means fucking nothing. This man's name is Nepenthe. As much as I want to do the actual quest here, I can't turn down Nepenthe.
Mortal. I am a tender of this house. What is it you require?
Just how many tidings we talking? I'm a busy man, come on, let's talk business. The midden.
When the world was young, it was from the midden that we were born, and that all things came to die.
You started that out as if you were going to be really fucking philosophical, that's a word, and then you just ended it with, and all things came to die, as if it was literally nothing. I know you're a fae and everything, but would a little bit of emotion go amiss? Kaidan, Sidon, whatever the fuck.
Though he has done well to stand against the Tuatha, he has done so by embracing their warlike methods.
What other choices are there? Sit back and let them eat you? No, that's not smart either. House of Sorrows.
We are the penitent ones who oversee the rotting of the world.
And why does it even
Your kind
matter
reviles
if
us,
he's going to war
but
with them?
without
You'll
our aspects of
respawn
nature,
anyway.
Nothing would ever flourish.
You've all got fucking God mode on. Tell me about yourself, I guess, Nepenthe.
I cannot venture into the midden. Not any longer. There are beasts both ravenous and cruel, and sights loathsome to behold. It scares me.
You worship a tree covered in decaying fucking corpses, and there's something too loathsome to behold for you? I mean, I guess the Fae never rot, maybe, or something? I don't know, because it was like the Winter Fae embody decay and spirit, but the mortals decay the flesh, or whatever the fuck. So I guess you just sort of hung up there, looking all nice and fucking pretty for the bird, like you were a lovely little, they said bird cage. I hope they're not venturing inside of you. That becomes a hell of a lot more problematic then. But you know what I mean? A lovely little perch for the little cuties up there. But no. Now there's humans. I can kind of see why that would upset you. But even the tree itself looks horrifying. That's enough to make me want to run away forever. Saturnin.
I thought the Tuatha were capable only of barbarity, only of outright vengeance. Instead, we are told that the Tuatha have unleashed on us a beast of cunning, of sly vindictiveness, and it cannot be stopped.
And what the fuck might that be? I guess he means, oh god, I've already forgotten his name. That one guy I've been asking about the entire time, Saturnin. I think, actually, that's what I asked him to cause him to talk, and yet I already forgot what the fuck I was doing. I don't know how I'm still alive.
A siegebreaker walks here. Good. Now perhaps the Tuatha will have cause to fear us. I am Heisener, one of the Delvers.
Like, I seem to have lost all basic human function. I should not still exist right now. Well, you sound happy enough for a winter fae. Tell me about yourself, Heisener. Is that what she said? I literally heard her say it, and I've already forgotten. I suck. Heisener, let's go with that.
For too long have I been within this house, unable to help my brethren. I wish to walk the woods again. I wish to delve again.
No, not allowed. You remain in this wall for all time, and I will hear nothing else about it, Sidon.
Sidon the outcast. Nothing is truly solitary in nature, but Sidon walks a lonelier path than most.
Aww.
I wish him well.
Poor little guy. I need to, definitely need to get back to him. We only have one more, not cathedral, what the fuck are they called? One more chantry to take out. One more little bit of hanging out with Gadflow to do. And then, and only then, do we return to the biggest badass of all of Cluricon. Sidon. I'm a close second, but still, he's pretty damn cool. Delvers.
Once they could look into a fae and take the burden of winter from their heart. But now, the Delvers are deaf to the sorrows. All, it seems, but one.
And who is that one? Me? It's not me. It's gotta be Sidon, but he's not one of you anymore. Oh. Do you mean yourself? I genuinely don't really know the difference between Delver and Tender yet. I guess Delvers leave this place and head out into the wilderness and do some fucking delving, and the Tenders stay here and make sure the rocks are nice and happy, I guess. Or the bricks, I don't fucking know. But then, you're a Delver, I think you said, and you're not doing any delving. You said you've been stuck in here for ages. How long is ages? Gallows tree.
There's little that can be said of it. The tree is the oldest in these lands. Like we Winter Fae, it thrives off decay.
Damn, throwing out some sick bars tonight, I see. House of Sorrows.
The Winter Fae look to us to appease the decay in Winter's heart. Through our efforts, all of Winter Fae are able to transcend their nature.
Through our efforts, all of Winter Fae are able to transcend their nature. So if you appease decay, that means you survive? Is that how the whole regenning cycle works for you? I doubt it, because if I didn't bother doing your guild, I imagine everything would stay the same in the wider world. Which I'm kind of a bit disappointed by. I really wish that... I know Warsworn will recognize us and shit like that, but I don't think Sverri, the Warsworn commander in Melsenshire, bothered to recognize me in the part where I was talking to him for the main quest, even though he literally witnessed me outranking him. He literally watched me do the ceremony where I became his literal god, and he just treated me like trash. Like I was the savior. Even to be fair, he treated me like trash even though I had just saved the fortress he was supposed to defend. So maybe that's just the kind of fucking arsehole he is, but who knows. Saturnin.
I never thought to know a menace I could not see or hear or strike. And yet the Tuatha have furnished us with one. Farewell.
Alright, well that's that, I guess. Time to never ever ever talk to you again. And who the ever-loving fuck are you? No, just another purple hair boy. See, the thing with the Winter Fae is they all look so unique. People in the Summer Fae, or just anyone in general, back in the Summerlands, if I saw them with purple hair, they were absolutely someone I could talk to. Because they just look way more interesting than everyone else, and that's what they tend to want to do for the NPCs that you need to give a shit about. But with Winter Fae, they all look awesome, and it's so annoying.
Kind mortal, I have seen what you have to offer. War, destruction, calamity. You are better off leaving us be.
But how could I ever abandon those beautiful dulcet tones? You hear the way he said, war. I can't even do that, and I used to voice act, war. I don't know where that is, but you please me. You make me tingle in ways I've never tingled before, Drosa. So tell me about yourself.
What do you wish to know of me, mortal? What of a Fae could you hope to understand?
How do you do that voice?
Deign to explain my life to you.
I'm sick right now, so that might be something to do with why I can't figure it out, but what of a Fae would you hope to understand? I don't know, I can't find it. Oh well, tell me about Sidon.
He will always be a prince of the house, even though we have parted ways. I wish him well.
Okay, well I'm literally working with him. So maybe stop being an absolute bastard. I'm trying to help out your best friend here. Delvers.
The art of the Delvers has been passed on since the Weeping King first walked this midden. That it is now lost, it must be some Tuatha witchery.
Tuatha witchery. The Weeping King first walked this midden. So he's been brought up again. I'm starting to think that the Weeping King has something to do with the tree. Is it kind of looks like a weeping willow, right? It kind of looks like the saddest of all fucking plant life. I mean, it's a weeping willow with a load of corpses attached to it, but a weeping willow nonetheless. But then why the fuck would a random Fae King just end up becoming a tree out of literally nowhere? Why can I never ask about the Weeping King? It's so annoying. Gallows tree.
Once, the bodies of our most faithful members were hung upon the tree. But now, the Tuatha have decorated it with the butchered corpses of mortals. Blasphemy!
I still don't really understand why you don't just take them down. I imagine that would be the perfect timing for them to spring a trap, but I mean, there are mortals all hanging around. Excuse me. They're all hanging around the gallows tree. The Tuatha haven't bothered to stomp their fucking faces into oblivion yet, so I'm sure you'll be fine, right? Or just ask me to do it. I mean, no, please don't. That would be the most painful mission I think I've ever had to do if I have to cut down every last one, each time just spamming F over and over and over. Yeah, never, ever, ever ask me to do that. Get the local janitor to do it. House of Sorrows.
We are the foundation upon which all Winter Fae rely. By attacking us, the Tuatha have turned their back on their own kin once and for all.
The Tuatha have turned their back on their own kin once and for all. Okay, I don't know why I'm, like, having to reread everything that is just about to go into my fucking earlobes. I think I am now more broken than ever. Apparently taking a break made me even stupider, made even more of my brain cells just give the fuck up. But, whatever. I'm hardly surprised at this point. This entire series has just been me getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Maybe I'll die on the finale, who knows? Saturnin.
I have seen the Tuatha as they fell upon the houses of pride and of vengeance. It was horrible and maddening. But never have I seen a Tuatha draw out a battle such as this. Never have I seen one enjoy such malice. So
I know it goes against the ways of all Fae to be warmongering fucking pricks, right? Like, they like to be relatively peaceful until recently. I mean, the Godstorm happened, the most scary fucking war of all time, and I don't know if this is still part of the Godstorm, or if that was just a war way in the fucking distance, in the time of the Weeping King or something. But I need to know more. I have to know more right now. So fill my fucking cerebrum with knowledge. Atea.
Ah, it seems there were more to the rumors of Bizarane's pet mortal than I gave credit. I am Atea, Lord Keeper of the House.
Okay, well, tell me more about yourself.
I hold the lore of the house in my being. It is a responsibility that I alone can bear. As such, I am neither Delver nor Tender.
The lore of the house, which means you actually can. Pour all of your delicious knowledge juice down my fucking chasms. Okay, except I can only ask all the same boring fucking questions that we have with everyone else. At least we can get a little bit more of a definitive answer on Delvers and Tenders, I guess? Let's start with Tenders.
Delvers see to the sorrows.
I literally just asked about Tenders, you idiot.
Flesh. When a Fae dies, Tenders take the body to the Midden and see it safely into rot.
Oh, so they do get all fucking gross. That guy was just being a fucking Fae supremacist out of nowhere. Okay, fair enough. I'm not surprised. Now, Delvers.
Delvers are not chosen, though many wish to follow in the steps of the Weeping King.
Who the fuck?
Those that do, then, are compelled to serve as he did.
Why do you worship this man so much if you won't give me a single drop of his tale? He just sounds like a really, really sad man. Why is he weeping? Who hurt this poor, sweet baby boy? To be honest, maybe it's got something to do with the main quest of this particular faction, and I'm only allowed to learn about him from... God, what's his name? It starts with a B, and then an R. Richard Branson. Maybe we can only learn about it from Richard Branson. That's very possible. Sidon.
Though he fights in the name of our people, I cannot help but feel abandoned by him. I only hope this war does not consume him.
I mean, you're the lore master. If anyone's gonna know your chances, or his chances, it's gonna be you, right? Just how cool was he? I don't think we've ever fought alongside him yet. He's only really come to request our help, so I have no idea. Feel like he's not gonna be nearly as useful as I expected. He's definitely gonna die like a bitch, just like General Talera did not too long ago. The Midden.
Once a gentle place where the bodies of the Winter Fae were returned to the earth, the Midden is now a mire of filth.
My kind of place.
Mortal death. Be careful when within.
Except normally when I hear about mires of filth, they normally tend to relate to strip clubs. But I mean a horrible forest full of rot, decay, and sadness. That's basically the closest thing in this world, right? I know I'm coming. House of Sorrows.
There has always been a House of Sorrows, it seems. Not long after the birth of the Winter Fae came the Weeping King, and with him, the house.
So he's the OG Winter Fae? Not really the OG, but he's one of the OGs. He's like one of the first legendary figures the Winter Fae can hold in reverence. Right? He's like the first cool boy. Or maybe the first king, or something like that? I don't know. Saturnin.
There is no precedent for a foe like this. Even in the ancient wars, no Fae ever acted in a manner such as Saturnin. I am at a loss to know what we must do to stop him. I do not believe it is a victory we can achieve.